The Galactic Council gathered in their grand meeting room, a place filled with many alien leaders from different worlds. They were tall, short, colorful, and some even glowed in the dark. Today, their atmosphere was tense. The Council had received strange reports from their scouts about unusual ships seen near Earth, a small blue planet in a quiet part of the galaxy. "I don't believe humans can build such advanced ships," said a tall alien named Zarok. His voice echoed in the room, filled with doubt. "They are just primitive creatures." "But we must investigate," replied Lyra, a bright green alien with large eyes. "These ships are emitting powerful energy signals. It could be a threat to us." The Council agreed. They decided to send a small fleet of ships to Earth to learn more. Zarok and Lyra would lead this mission. They wanted to show that the Galactic Council was strong and that humans were nothing to fear. The Council believed that if humans had built these ships, they would surely back down when faced with the might of the Council. Meanwhile, on Earth, a team of scientists was working deep in a hidden underwater base. This base was well protected, located in the depths of the ocean where no one could find it. The humans had been secretly building their advanced fleet for years. The designs were sleek and powerful, made to withstand the harshest conditions in space. Commander Sarah, a brave and clever leader, stood on the bridge of the largest ship in the fleet, named the Guardian. She looked at her crew, who were busy monitoring the systems. "Keep an eye on the sensors," she ordered. "If any alien ships come close, I want to know about it immediately." Her crew nodded, aware that their hidden fleet was the last line of defense for Earth. They had trained hard and were ready for anything, but they hoped it would not come to fighting. Sarah believed in peace and wanted to avoid a conflict with the aliens. As the Galactic Council's ships approached Earth, they were filled with a sense of superiority. Zarok and Lyra were confident. "These humans will not stand a chance against us," Zarok declared, looking out at the stars. The Council ships arrived in Earth's orbit and scanned the planet. Their screens lit up with bright colors, showing strange energy readings coming from the ocean. "There! Look at those signals!" Lyra exclaimed, pointing to the display. "They are coming from beneath the waves." Zarok smiled, feeling a sense of victory. "Prepare the shuttle. We will go down and confront these humans," he commanded. "They will learn their place." As they descended towards the ocean, the humans were unaware of the impending encounter. Sarah noticed a strange energy spike on her radar. "What is that?" she asked, squinting at the screen. The crew exchanged nervous glances, realizing something unusual was happening. "Commander, we have multiple unidentified ships approaching," shouted a crew member. The bridge erupted in activity as everyone sprang into action. They activated the stealth mode, hoping to remain hidden. Back in the alien ship, Zarok and Lyra were excited. They believed they were about to scare the humans into submission. "Get ready to show them who is in charge," Zarok said, his eyes glowing with anticipation. But as they approached, the aliens were taken by surprise. Emerging from the depths of the ocean was the Guardian and its fleet of ships, rising like giants from the deep. The human vessels were sleek and shining, unlike anything the Council had ever seen. "What is this?" Lyra gasped, staring at the impressive sight. The humans had hidden their technology well, and the aliens now faced a fleet that was ready and waiting. The atmosphere changed. Zarok's confidence began to fade. This cannot be," he stammered. The Council had expected to find weak and frightened humans. Instead, they were met with a powerful show of strength. As both sides prepared for what might come next, a sense of tension filled the space around them. The surprise in space had just begun. The tension in the Galactic Council's ships was thick as they approached Earth. Zarok and Lyra stared at the massive human fleet that had risen from the ocean. The shimmering ships were sleek and powerful, each one shining under the light of distant stars. This was not the weak fleet they had expected. "Prepare to scan their ships," Zarok ordered, trying to regain his confidence. "We need to understand what we're dealing with." As the scanners activated, a series of readings flooded the screens. The data shocked everyone on board. "These ships, they have advanced armor and weapon systems," Lyra said, her voice trembling. "This technology is far beyond anything we've seen." Zarok clenched his fists in anger. "How could these primitive humans create such amazing ships?" he growled. "We have underestimated them." On the Guardian, Commander Sarah was alert, watching the alien ships with a mixture of caution and determination. "They are scanning us. Get ready for anything," she said to her crew. Her heart raced. She knew that first contact was critical, and they had to show strength without appearing hostile. The crew quickly prepared their weapons, but Sarah held up her hand. "Wait! Let's see what they do first. We don't want to provoke them unless necessary." Back in the alien ships, Zarok was furious. "They think they can hide from us? Activate the disruptor beam. Show them we mean business," he shouted. Lyra shook her head, feeling uneasy. "Zarok, we should be careful. This could lead to war. We don't understand their capabilities." But Zarok was determined. "We will teach them to fear us," he replied, turning his attention back to the screen. As the disruptor beam powered up, the aliens prepared to fire. In an instant, the beam shot out, aimed directly at the Guardian. The human ship's shields flared to life, glowing bright blue as they absorbed the energy. The crew felt a sudden jolt, but the ship held strong. "What was that?" Sarah exclaimed, gripping the control panel. "They attacked us! Return fire!" shouted one of the crew members. But Sarah held up her hand again. "No! We need to understand what is happening first. We can't just retaliate blindly." As the alien ships prepared for another attack, the council members were in chaos. "They are not backing down!" Lyra cried out. "They have powerful shields!" Zarok was taken aback. "This changes everything," he said, realizing the humans were not as weak as he had thought. He needed a new plan. Meanwhile, the crew of the Guardian was working together to analyze the alien ships. "Commander, their shields are strong but not invincible," one crew member reported. "If we hit them with a concentrated burst, we might get through." Sarah considered this carefully. "We need to show them we can defend ourselves without escalating the situation. Target their engines. We want to disable them, not destroy them." Back in the alien ships, Zarok decided to change tactics. "Send a message. We will negotiate. We cannot afford to lose our ships," he shouted. "Tell them we are not their enemies." The council ships paused, surprised by this sudden shift. They had expected a fierce battle, not an attempt at negotiation. Zarok's message was sent, and Sarah received it. She read the alien communication carefully. "They want to talk. Maybe they are not as hostile as we thought," she said, trying to keep the crew calm. "Commander, what should we do?" Another crew member asked, unsure of what to believe. "Let's give them a chance." "Prepare for a meeting," Sarah replied, "but keep our defenses ready. We can't let our guard down." As the two sides prepared to meet, there was an air of uncertainty. The Galactic Council had come to Earth expecting to intimidate the humans, but now they faced a shocking discovery. The humans were strong and prepared to fight back. As the council members stared at the fleet before them, they realized they had underestimated humanity. This new knowledge changed everything. The surprise of the humans' advanced fleet had turned the tables, and now both sides had to decide how to move forward. The atmosphere between the two fleets was tense as the Guardian hovered in space, waiting for the aliens to make their next move. Commander Sarah stood at the front of the bridge, her eyes fixed on the screens that displayed the alien ships. They were intimidating, but now seemed uncertain. Zarok and Lyra, aboard their flagship, were discussing their strategy. "We must make them understand that we mean no harm," Lyra urged, her large eyes filled with concern. "But we must also show that we are powerful. They need to respect us." Zarok nodded, but his mind was racing. "Send a message asking for a meeting. We must negotiate a peaceful solution before this turns into a full-scale battle," he decided, trying to keep his emotions in check. Meanwhile, on the Guardian, Sarah prepared her crew for the upcoming talks. "Remember, we must stay calm and professional. They may try to intimidate us, but we need to show them we are strong and united," she reminded everyone. As the message was sent, the council members gathered in their meeting chamber aboard their flagship. Zarok took a deep breath before addressing the humans. "We come in peace. We wish to discuss the presence of your fleet," he began, trying to maintain an air of authority. Sarah responded with confidence. "We appreciate your willingness to talk, but we are here to defend our planet. Your attack on us was unprovoked. We will not back down," she replied firmly. The tension in the room was palpable. Zarok's heart raced. "We believed you were weak and could be easily intimidated. This was a mistake," he admitted. "But you must understand, we are the Galactic Council. We are not to be trifled with." Sarah frowned at Zarok's words. "We did not seek a fight, but we will defend ourselves. We ask for respect and peace in these discussions," she insisted. Lyra, sensing the growing hostility, tried to intervene. "Let's focus on finding common ground. We both have much to learn from each other." "We do not need to be enemies," she said, her voice softening. Zarok was frustrated, but he knew they had to try. "What do you propose?" he asked, crossing his arms. "Let's share our technology and knowledge," Sarah suggested. "We could work together for the betterment of both our worlds. There are threats in the galaxy that we could face together." For a moment, there was silence. Zarok and Lyra exchanged glances. "You think we can trust you?" Zarok asked, skepticism clear in his voice. "We have no reason to harm you." "We are not the enemy," Sarah replied. "But if you insist on showing force, we will not hesitate to fight back." Suddenly, a crew member interrupted. "Commander, incoming message from the Council!" he shouted, his voice urgent. Everyone turned to the screen, and the room filled with static. An alien leader appeared, looking angry. "What is happening here?" "We did not come to negotiate with humans. You are to be conquered." Zarok's eyes widened. "What? No! This is not what we agreed on!" he shouted, his voice echoing in the chamber. The atmosphere changed instantly. The alien leader's threats caused panic among the humans. Sarah quickly assessed the situation. "We need to leave! Prepare the fleet for possible battle!" she commanded, her heart racing. Zarok, caught between his own council's demands and his desire for peace, felt the weight of responsibility. "This is a mistake! We can work together," he pleaded, but it was too late. Without warning, the alien leader ordered an attack on the Guardian. Lasers shot out from the Council's ships, illuminating the darkness of space. The humans scrambled to defend themselves, firing back in self-defense. The battle erupted quickly. Commander Sarah shouted orders, her crew working tirelessly to counter the attack. "Focus on their engines! Disable their ability to fight!" Zarok, horrified by the chaos, realized that diplomacy had failed. He watched as his crew began to fire on the humans, and his heart sank. "This is not how it was supposed to go!" he yelled. As the battle raged, both sides fought fiercely. The shocking discovery of humanity's strength had turned into a diplomatic disaster. The Galactic Council, once confident in their power, now faced a fierce and unexpected resistance from the humans. Both sides were locked in conflict, and the possibility of peace felt farther away than ever. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see who would emerge victorious in this battle of wills and weapons. The battle in space intensified as lasers shot back and forth between the Guardian and the alien ships. Commander Sarah was at the heart of the chaos, her mind racing with thoughts on how to turn this fight in humanity's favor. Each second felt like an eternity as the fate of Earth hung in the balance. "Get us closer to their flagship," Sarah ordered. "We need to disable their command center." Her crew worked quickly, maneuvering the ship with precision. They were no longer just defenders, they had become warriors. On the alien flagship, Zarok was overwhelmed. The sight of his ships firing on the humans filled him with dread. "We cannot let this continue," he shouted to Lyra. "We have to find a way to stop the fighting." Lyra looked around at the chaos. "Zarok, we must take control of the situation." "If we lose this battle, we lose everything," she replied, her voice steady. "We need to turn their defenses against them." Meanwhile, Sarah and her crew managed to get within striking distance of the alien flagship. "Prepare the plasma torpedoes," she shouted, her heart racing. "Target their weapon systems." As the torpedoes launched, they sailed through space like fiery comets. The alien ships struggled to retaliate, but they were still disorganized from the sudden attack. A loud explosion rocked the alien flagship as one of the torpedoes struck home, disabling its weapons. "Direct hit," cheered one of Sarah's crew members. "They're losing power!" Zarok watched in horror as his flagship began to falter. "Get the shields up! We need to regroup," he ordered, trying to regain control. But the damage was done, and the humans were gaining ground. "Commander, we've lost contact with several ships," one of Zarok's officers shouted, panic spreading through the bridge. "They're retreating!" Realizing their situation was dire, Zarok took a deep breath. "We need to change our approach. If we cannot win through force, we must appeal to their reason. We can't let our council destroy everything," he said, determination shining in his eyes. As the Guardian continued its offensive, Sarah noticed a shift in the alien ships. "They're regrouping!" "Something is changing," she said, alerting her crew. "Stay sharp, they might be planning something." Zarok sent a message to Sarah, his voice echoing through the communication channels. "Commander, this is Zarok. We wish to cease hostilities." "We cannot afford to lose more ships or lives," he declared. "Let's find another way to settle this." Sarah hesitated, unsure if she could trust him. "Why should I believe you now?" she replied, her voice steady but wary. "Because I have seen the strength of your fleet. We cannot win this battle, Zarok answered, his tone sincere. Let us negotiate for peace before it is too late. Feeling the weight of responsibility, Sarah decided to give it a chance. All right, Zarok, but if you betray us, we will respond with everything we have. Set up a meeting point, she instructed. As the chaos around them began to die down, both sides prepared for a face-to-face meeting. The crews were tense but hopeful as the prospect of peace began to emerge from the shadows of war. At the designated meeting point, a small shuttle from the Guardian approached the alien flagship. Sarah and a few trusted officers boarded, ready to confront Zarok directly. The mood was heavy with uncertainty. Once aboard the alien ship, Sarah faced Zarok. We have to find a way to coexist, she said, trying to keep her voice calm. We cannot let this conflict continue. There are greater threats in the galaxy that we can face together. Zarok nodded, relieved to hear her words. You are right. We are not enemies by nature. Our council was misguided, and I want to change that, he replied earnestly. The two leaders discussed terms, both realizing they had much to gain by cooperating. As they spoke, they discovered shared interests and goals. The more they talked, the more they understood that they were not so different after all. Outside, their fleets held their breath, waiting for the outcome of the meeting. Both sides had seen the devastation of battle, and now the hope for peace flickered like a candle in the dark. With a newfound understanding, Sarah and Zarok agreed to a ceasefire. They would work together to rebuild trust and form a coalition that would protect both Earth and the Galactic Council from threats beyond their stars. The battle that had threatened to tear them apart had turned into an opportunity to unite. As Sarah returned to her ship, she felt a wave of relief wash over her. The tides of war had shifted, and now, together, they could face whatever the galaxy threw at them. The tension in space had finally eased. The fleets of humanity and the Galactic Council floated side by side, no longer enemies but allies in the making. Commander Sarah stood on the bridge of the Guardian, looking out at the alien ships. The stars twinkled in the background, reminding her that the universe was vast and full of possibilities. Today marks a new beginning for both our worlds, Sarah announced to her crew, her voice steady and confident. We have survived a great battle, but we have also found a chance for peace. The crew cheered, their faces lighting up with hope. They had fought bravely, and now they could look forward to something better. Sarah felt a surge of pride as she saw the determination in their eyes. Meanwhile, on the flagship of the Galactic Council, Zarok and Lyra were discussing the next steps. We must show the humans that we are committed to this alliance, Zarok said, pacing the room. They need to see that we can work together. Lyra nodded. I agree. We should plan a joint mission to explore a nearby planet. It will be a great opportunity to share knowledge and build trust, she suggested. Zarok thought about it. Yes, a shared mission could help us learn from each other. Let's propose it to Sarah, he replied. As the two leaders met again, Zarok proposed the idea. Commander Sarah, what do you think about exploring the planet Varlis together? It has valuable resources and ancient ruins. We could learn a lot, he said, his excitement evident. Sarah considered the offer. That sounds like a great idea, Zarok. We can send a team from both our fleets. This way we can share knowledge and expertise, she replied, her voice full of enthusiasm. The two leaders shook hands, sealing their agreement. The crews of both ships began to prepare for the mission. They gathered supplies, reviewed data about Varlis, and trained for the journey ahead. It was an exciting time, and everyone felt a sense of unity. As the day of departure approached, the atmosphere was filled with excitement. Sarah stood on the bridge again, looking at the star charts. This is it. We are about to explore a new world together, she said, her heart racing. Zarok's ship, the Starfire, joined the Guardian as they set course for Varlis. The journey through space was smooth, and everyone felt hopeful. Crew members exchanged stories, sharing tales of their home worlds. Laughter filled the air as friendships began to form. When they finally arrived at Varlis, the planet was breathtaking. Lush forests stretched as far as the eye could see, and ancient ruins peeked out from the trees. Sarah and Zarok stood together on the observation deck, gazing at the beauty of the planet. This place is incredible, Sarah said, her eyes sparkling with wonder. Imagine what we could learn here. Zarok smiled, feeling a sense of adventure. Let's gather our teams and start exploring. Together, we will uncover the secrets of Varlis, he replied. As they landed on the planet, the crews stepped out of their ships, filled with excitement and curiosity. Humans and aliens walked side by side, exploring the ruins and studying the flora and fauna. They shared knowledge and expertise, working together to discover the history of Varlis. During their exploration, they stumbled upon ancient artifacts that hinted at a once thriving civilization. Sarah and Zarok decided to set up a research center on Varlis, where their teams could collaborate and continue learning. As days turned into weeks, the bond between the humans and the Galactic Council grew stronger. They celebrated successes and learned from mistakes, creating a partnership built on trust and respect. One evening, Sarah and Zarok stood on a hill overlooking the research center. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the landscape. "I never imagined we would come this far," Sarah said, a smile on her face. "From enemies to allies, and now partners in exploration." Zarok nodded, his expression serious yet hopeful. "This is only the beginning. Together, we can achieve great things and protect our worlds from any threats that may come," he replied. As they watched the sun dip below the horizon, they knew they had turned the tide of their destinies. The future was bright, and together they would explore the stars, facing whatever challenges awaited them. In that moment, both Sarah and Zarok realized that peace was not just the absence of war, it was the beginning of a new journey, one where humans and aliens would work hand in hand to unlock the mysteries of the universe.